Hello everybody, what's going on? This is Word here, and I'm going to bring you a game between ThorZaiN and CatZ. ThorZaiN, the blue Terran here in the upper left of Ohana, and taking the long way around down to CatZ's base. He is the yellow Zerg here in the lower right, of course playing under the tag Root We Win. If you've been following CatZ at all or watched the stream or anything, you know that this is one of his alter egos that he likes to use. So we're going to have a ZVT here on Ohana between ThorZaiN, who, if you've been keeping up with the latest, is the first foreigner to get a win in Pro League since 2005. So congratulations to him. That did happen fairly recently. If you go on the Reddits or you watch Pro League, you will have been aware of that. So obviously, I mean, we all know ThorZaiN's nothing to sneeze at. CatZ, a very interesting, very unique player who has a lot of strange strategies up his sleeve, and is fully capable of playing a strong standard game as well. So we'll see how these styles mesh against each other in this upcoming game here on Ohana. Looks like ThorZaiN choosing not to wall off here. So he's not going to be trying to hide anything from his opponent. Nothing too crazy going to be happening there. And guys, while we're in the beginning of this game, before anything too interesting happens, just wanted to remind you to follow my stream. You can see it down there on the bottom of the screen along with my Twitter. That's twitch.tv/word5. And that is where I will be casting live events and, of course, streaming gameplay. So make sure to check that out if you want to see me do some live casting, because I certainly want to see you there. Now, CatZ is going to be going for a 15 hatch here on Ohana. Ohana's an interesting map. It's not too small. I mean, it's a big map like most of the current maps, but the rush distance isn't. What I'm saying is it seems like a medium. It's like in between. I think it's the smallest rush distance of the current maps except for Entombed Valley. And it's also a map where mech is pretty good on because it's very linear. You know, you lock it down. You can lock down your 3 bases pretty easily. Once you get on 3 bases and you have a solid mech army, it's very, very hard for a Zerg to break it. It lets you get up to 4 and 5 bases pretty quickly, and any kind of slow push becomes very hard to stop because there just are not that many multiple attack angles that the Zerg can go through as long as you have a good tank spread. So it's something to consider. Now, we see ThorZaiN is opening with gas here, which is pretty interesting. Obviously, the flavor of the week, or the flavor of the past 10 months or so, has been gasless fast expands. We're going to see ThorZaiN here going immediately into a factory. Now, CatZ did drone scout, so he sees this gas, and maybe ThorZaiN was counting on his opponent not drone scouting and going just in with pure overlord, but CatZ is going to have that information. Now, fast gas, of course, means faster Hellions and possibly faster Banshees, which has been the Terran choice of things for quite a while, the Hellion Banshee pressure. And now over on CatZ's side, he does have his pool up. No gas quite yet. We do see a Marine and an SCV coming in here, and ThorZaiN putting a perfect spot for this bunker. Gonna make it, I'm not even sure, I think maybe one unit can slip in there. But it's gonna make it very hard for the SCV to get attacked and the Marine to get attacked. And with 2 Marines for backup here, he should be in a pretty good position now. CatZ's Spine Crawler is under assault. We do have a starport on the way here for ThorZaiN as well as a Hellion in production. This is some very good early pressure coming out here from the Terran player. Hasn't done too much damage yet. We'll see what it ends up doing. CatZ actually not even producing any lings at this moment. He is very comfortable dealing with this. However, the bunker has completed, but it is not in range of actually anything. Now, what this bunker is going to be used for is retreating the Marines back to a safe range. He's going to pop them out, poke at what he can, and then run away when stuff gets too real. But the Spine Crawler will outrange a Marine in a bunker. Marines have a range of 6 in bunkers, and Spine Crawlers, of course, have that range of 7. So, ThorZaiN is going to be trying to repair this, keep it alive as long as he can, but I don't think there's enough time left to salvage. He should go for it. Does he have another SCV on the way? No, we do have a Hellion and a Marine here, but it looks like the bunker will go down. So that is an investment loss for ThorZaiN, and CatZ played it very cool. Did not make a single Zergling. Take a look at that units tab. We have no Zerglings on the map. He dealt with that purely with Spine Crawl and the Queen, so very, very nicely done there by CatZ. Didn't overreact, and, you know, that's the exact sort of thing that pressure is supposed to cause. An overreaction, make the Zerg have less drones than normal. Now, ThorZaiN is massing up right here with Marines and Hellions. We do have a Viking in production. This, of course, will clear out a lot of Overlords on the map. Currently, CatZ only has the 1. We do have one over on the 3rd, but he might be able to retreat that into the safety of the Queens ThorZaiN going to be pushing up here now. Does have a medevac as well, so he will be able to do a little bit of elevatoring, but CatZ fully aware of what's happening on the north side of his base, sees the lift onto the high ground, but what does he have to deal with? It still hasn't produced any units, and that could be a little bit crazy. He's going to try to go off of these queens, but will it be enough with a medevac on top of all these marines? I am not sure. That Overlord getting picked off is going to supply block him. 10 Zerglings in production, but the drones are in danger now. 3 Hellions will one-shot some drones, and he's got to be very, very careful now. We do have 1, 2, 3 transfuses among these queens, and now a 4th queen walking in. Not quite with the transfuse herself, but it should be enough to clean this up. Medevacs are good, but they're not that good. And he's actually targeting it down as much as he can to make sure that these units can't escape. And with 5 queens, the medevac is not going to be able to get in there and save anything. Good transfuses here from CatZ, not losing a single queen, and wow, CatZ is handling this pressure extremely well. The Zerglings did get picked off. The 2 Hellions going to try to come in here and do what damage they can. CatZ up to 28 drones now. He did lose a couple in that battle. And it looks like a few more are going to go down. Ooh, actually transfusing a drone there. Keeping it alive. Meanwhile, some more units from ThorZaiN going to be coming up into the front. But it looks like these Hellions will get cleaned up by the drones and the queens. 5 workers killed overall. CatZ ahead by 9 drones. ThorZaiN now just landing his command center, getting that into an orbital command state, and it looks like he will be going into bio. We have the Viking here clearing out overlords. Looks like it got this one in the north. Might be able to get this one, but CatZ just might be able to save that if he's quick enough about it. And meanwhile, he's going to start working on that creep spread. Now, ThorZaiN didn't do too much direct damage. What he did do is start stopping the creep spread, which is very, very important, especially on a map like Ohana, where it's very easy to spread that creep. You're just pretty much spreading it in one direction. So the longer you can deny that, the better. However, CatZ has 5 queens here. That means he has 3 for creep spreading right now. And he will be laying down tumors like crazy. We also do have the pathogen glands on the way, as well as that +1/+1 for the Ling. So we'll be playing a Ling Infestor style, and this is a style CatZ uses very, very often. He's been supply blocked again. Looks like that Overlord did get picked off. He does have a couple more in production. Now, ThorZaiN going to come in here and work on a couple more of those creep tumors, grabbing them while they were spawning, not having to use the scan on those. It's going to be pulling back now. Back in ThorZaiN's base, we do have the bio production on the way, as well as tanks. So he's going into that standard marine tank medevac style, and with ThorZaiN's control, with ThorZaiN's execution of multiple point attacks, this is absolutely a perfect style for him, just because a map works well for mech. Doesn't mean you have to use mech, doesn't mean that other strategies aren't viable. He's actually landed the Viking with this army, and he is just marching up there, and a Viking's actually pretty intimidating when it's on the ground, man. Now, the Spineclaw are going to be burrowing down. He's going to drop some transfuses on it, but it's not going to last very long. Just a few queens here. Actually, CatZ has 5 queens and 6 Zerglings, and ThorZaiN is really taking advantage of CatZ's reluctance to produce units, but we have 4 Infestors and 16 Lings about to pop out. Is it going to be enough? The Infestation Pit is in a pretty vulnerable position. Right now he's going to work on nailing the fact that there's a fungal on almost everything that ThorZaiN has. Huge damage using a ton of that medevac energy. It looks like the chain fungal is going to take out all of these marines here. We still have quite a few tanks left, but tanks are not that good against queens, especially when there's transfuses on the board, and he should be able to clean these up. And ThorZaiN doesn't just want to unsiege, he wants to do what damage he can. Managed to pick off an Infestor there. Very good targeting from ThorZaiN, and now it looks like he will be finishing off this push. CatZ in a pretty good position right now, taking out a lot of ThorZaiN's army. ThorZaiN behind by about 1,000 resources lost, and he is in full retreat mode. Do we have eBays down for these units? No, we have Stim and Combat Shield on the way. All of this is very delayed by ThorZaiN's aggressive stance. With this aggression, he's not able to produce the upgrades or afford the upgrades that he wants to get. Now he's on even harvesters with the Zerg, which is good. CatZ's third has popped up here in the lower left, and it looks like he is getting ready to put on some aggression of his own. The Infestors are coming in. 3 Infestors. How much energy do they have? About 50 apiece, so they will be able to drop a few Infested Terrans in the mineral line. But will they be able to escape as soon as ThorZaiN sees those Infested Terrans drop? All he needs to do is lay down a scan, and those Infestors are going to be so much dead. Looks like we have 2 Infestors in the natural, one of them going into the main. It's just very smart, of course. Got to split them up, make sure that he can't get all of them in one go. Looks like this medevac here has been officially returned home. And are we going to see the Infested Terrans go down? Possibly waiting for his opponent to move out. The Infestor here kind of derping. Not sure why it can't burrow under building. Let's just assume there's something under there. eBays are up for ThorZaiN, by the way. +1/+1 on the way. But CatZ has started as +2/+2. And his Zerglings are going to be very powerful. Worker count 52 to 50 in favor of CatZ. And, you know, of course, the Terran has the mules and the Zerg is on 3 base. So economically speaking, ThorZaiN is in the lead. But he has been very aggressive right now, and he has run out of steam. Definitely not going to want to move out until stim is done, and probably not +1/+1 either. The creep spread coming up very nicely here for CatZ is going to be making its way towards ThorZaiN's base, and he's working on these rocks as well. But his army supply very low, 38 to 50. Just a few Zerglings and Infestors out on the map. If we take a look at his units, 9 Infestors, 21, 25 Lings, and now he is making his way into that Hive Tech. Probably going to be going for Ultralists, because we see Ultras a lot more than Broodlords on Ohana. And Ultras plus Fungals do very, very well against Bio and tanks. There's a Fungal right there, going to drop down on some of these Marines, really delay that push, sacrifices an Infestor to do that damage, and now ThorZaiN is going to be just slow pushing forward. That 1-1 is about to complete. He's got 3 tanks here, and that is a respectable and scary number. CatZ right now producing 3 more Infestors. He's going off Pureling Infestor. His +2 weapons is going to be completed relatively soon, but the +1/+1 for ThorZaiN has finished, and he does have a few Medivacs in the air as well, so this is looking pretty good. Meanwhile, these Infestors here have dropped their Infestor Terrans, and we have a few more going into the natural, but does CatZ need those at home to hold this push? Looks like he's retreated back into his natural, which is allowing ThorZaiN to get in a very good position. However, the Infested Terrans are tearing apart ThorZaiN's natural. He's going to lift this orbital and try to get it out of here. Is CatZ going to be able to get it? It depends if ThorZaiN is able to repair. Meanwhile, the pressure moving up into the third. CatZ is getting pushed back into a corner. The tanks are going to be able to target these Infestors soon. He's got to be so careful with his control. He is supply blocked. His Overlords have been taken out. The natural OC is alive. It has survived. And ThorZaiN coming in here, picking off a lot of drones. And it looks like he might get the third base. CatZ's army in position for a flank, but is it going to be enough? Where are the Infestors? 11 on the map. It looks like most of them have retreated into the natural, trying to fungal. ThorZaiN has a good spread there. He's not going to fall into that fungal trap. And no, he's not going for a flank. He's going for a full-on counterattack. But ThorZaiN is walled up. He's got a tank back up at home, and he looks like he is in very, very solid control of this game. Can CatZ get those good fungals or a good flank to clean up this army and then bust down the front with some Infested Terrans? It's all going to come down to the engagement in the third base. The Zerglings in the center of the map, trying to decide what to do. Of course, ThorZaiN knows that ramp's a dangerous place to be, but the tanks are in a great position to pick off those Infestors before they can fungal growth. There's a fungal on all the Medivacs, but unless he can chain it, it's not going to be enough to kill it. However, he's getting everything underneath them as well, and those are some good fungals for CatZ. We have some Zerglings coming in around the back, and is it going to be enough to clean this up? I think it is. This is a lot of Zerglings, and the tanks are being surrounded now. Only 1 Medivac remains, and the Zerglings are going to pick off everything. We have a few more Zerglings over here in the center, but ThorZaiN with his army cleaned up, salvaging his bunker. All it's going to take is CatZ to run in once, and that's going to be GG. And he knew it. So he GG's out. A very good game here on Ohana between ThorZaiN and CatZ. Thanks for watching, guys. Please be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel and follow me on twitch.tv/word5. I will see you at the next cast. Word up.